Honestly, where do these things come from sometimes? What was that? Wishful thinking? Well, I can assure you there's nothing autobiographical about that song. There is, however, in this next piece. This is something I wrote early one spring morning a couple months ago. There's a section in here about the Messiah of Morris Avenue. That's to a character in a book by that name. It was written by Tony Hendra, who wrote Father Joe, if you read that book. It's a modern retelling of the gospel story. And it's set in, where else could it be set? Jersey. So when I get to that reference, you'll know what I'm talking about. I woke up to a sheet of snow lying soft on these Colorado hills. I could see it on the redwood boards outside my bedroom's sliding door. It was time for me to get up. I couldn't lie there anymore. I would have liked to stay in bed that sleepy Sunday morning and listen to my wife's deep breathing and take some time to think. But these days, the time comes early when I just have to move. Too many aches and pains and stiffness, and that whole familiar scene. So I grabbed my cane and came out here, where I could give the snow a better look. It's been a long, dry winter, endless months of dusty brown. And people around here are getting worried about not enough moisture in the ground. But our spring snows are coming right on time, just like they always do. We need them, but winter always feels too long when it lasts till June. It can be hard to keep in mind when the land lies underneath that shroud of white, that there's still life way down there, buried out of sight. Kind of like a guy who just came through a bad spell and hasn't lost the will to fight. He's been down a while, but life hasn't got him out. Or like those days in bleak December when I'd lie awake all night, watching the gaps in the curtains for the coming of the light. I'd see visions of angels come and take me to crystal caves of black and dip me in pools of healing, soaking in my legs and back. And then the sun would finally shine around the edges of my door, just when I wasn't sure I could take it anymore. And sometimes the long night sweat would still be soaking through my shirt when my wife and I would cry together, just because it hurt. Back in those days when I was down, but wasn't out. And then I looked up and the sky had turned to gray, bringing the routine promise of another coming day. And I thought, it was Easter morning. And the wait is over for all those people out at Red Rocks Park, the crowded Denver's faithful who go there when it's dark and sit there shivering and doing what I used to do, waiting for the sun to come out. It's been down for a while, but no one thinks it might be out. And then I imagine myself sitting at a table with a view at my favorite coffee shop with the Messiah of Morris Avenue. And I asked him what it was like for him on Saturday, when he could finally just be dead, with no more torture and noise and hate. A wash of gray fell over him and he almost faded from my view. He turned to look out at the street and went somewhere far away while I watched his ruined hands playing with his cup. Finally he shook himself and those piercing eyes came out. And all he said was, "Yeah, you mean that day when life gave me a shove?" And he said it with ferocious love, when everyone else knew that I was down, but only I knew I wasn't out. There's been a lot of songs written about how love didn't make it. But really, if you listen to them, there's songs about loss. And there are a lot of different kinds of loss that we can experience in our lives. Those times when we're sitting there wondering what happened and what we're going to do about it. And if it gets too bad, the mystics call that the dark night of the soul. I don't know if I left you, or if you're the one who went away. Did you break your promises? Did I decide to make you pay? I spend a lot of time pretending that one day you come back, hoping that my faith in you will make up for what I lack. In the meantime, I'm just sitting here killing time, waiting for you. And all this killing time, it's killing me. Waiting for you, waiting for you. Did you hear me say I miss you? And if you heard me, did you care? I used to think about the way back. Now I doubt that it's still there. And I used to be so sure of all those things I thought you said. Now I think I must have made them up. I'm hearing voices in my head. Now my days are dressed in black. I just can't tell which one of us is dead. So I guess I'll just be sitting here, killing time, waiting for you. And all this killing time, it's killing me. Waiting for you, waiting for you. Now the days go by so slowly. These days when we're apart. In the end it was your silence that finally broke my heart. That's why I'm just sitting here, I'm killing time. I guess I'm waiting for you. And all this killing time, it's killing me. Waiting for you, waiting for you. Sometimes I think when we have a bad spell, it's just good to remember that our lives are a story. And we're characters in our own stories. We don't always know how they're going to turn out. So we just have to keep telling them to find out. Fortunes and fables and fate written in the stars, sands running through the hourglass, fortune tellers reading cards, riddles and oracles and messages in bowls. I need a storyteller, tell me the mysteries in the standing stones. 'Cause I'm looking at my life like a fairy tale. I'm wondering which one am I? The hero on a white horse, or the ogre with just one eye? Am I the prince who wins the princess, or the spirit chained in a tree? I need a storyteller to tell me which one is me. Heroes, fools, and villains, prophets, priests, and kings. Need a storyteller to tell me, will I do great things? 'Cause I'm looking at my life like a fairy tale, and I'm wondering which one am I? Am I the happy ending, or the one that makes you cry? It's just been great to be here with you. I started the second half with kind of a corny country love song, and I thought I'd end it with the same kind of spirit. It's the big dreams and the foolish compromise. It's being truthful when it hurts, seeing through the lies. It's lying awake or pacing through the night, mad and worried sick, wondering if everything's all right. It's church bells ringing, sometimes for good, sometimes bad. It's wondering how we made it on the little that we had. It's not just where you're living, it's home. It's not just where you're living, it's home. It's forgetting the names of the people you really never knew, but remembering the private jokes and the stories they tell about you. It's being willing to give it all up just to get it back, or to do it all over again, even if nothing changed. Church bells ringing, sometimes for good, sometimes bad. It's wondering how we made it with the little that we had. It's not just where you're living, it's home. It's not just where you're living, it's home. Thank you so much for being here. Good night. Let's end with a hymn. It was written in the middle of the 19th century, and it's a fitting end to this concert. My life goes on in endless song above earth's lamentations. I hear the real though far off hymn that hails the new creation. Above the tumult of despair, I hear its music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing when tyrants tremble sick with fear and hear their death knell ringing? When friends rejoice both far and near. How can I keep from singing in prison cell, in dungeon vile? Our thoughts to them go winging when friends by shame are undefiled. Why can I keep from singing? And though the tempest loudly blows, still I hear the truth, it liveth. And though the darkness around me close, songs in the night it giveth. No storm can shake my inmost calm, while to that rock I'm clinging. Because love is Lord of heaven and earth. How can I keep from singing? My life goes on in endless song above earth's lamentations. I hear the real though far off hymn that hails the new creation. Above the tumult of despair, still I hear its music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? How can I keep from singing? How can I keep from singing?